I forgot to introduce my dear friend Jeff DeHollander. Jeff is one of the finest pickers around. He's one of the partners over at Valve Train Amps, and he was working for Gibson in the factory back in the day in the 70s. So everybody please give it up for Mr. Jeff DeHollander.
Good evening, everybody. How are you? I'll try to be brief. My name is Jeff DeHollander. I'm 53 years old. I'm from Kalamazoo, Michigan. As you all know, the Gibson plant was in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And in 4th grade, it all started for me. We were having a hobby day. My hobby was collecting butterflies. That's the truth. But my friend Chuck Lombard's his name, he's doing life in prison right now, and that's no joke. He had this Les Paul guitar, and for all you, I think it's funny too because he's a funny dude. Anyway, he had a Les Paul guitar that his dad bought, and he said they got it right from the factory. And I looked at the guitar, and I saw that guitar in that pink case. It was a 1959 Les Paul Special single cutaway cherry red. Find one of those, and you'll be sitting on a pile of cash. Anyway, I saw that guitar, and I forgot all about butterflies, and I just thought this was the greatest thing in the world. I had to see this. Well, let's speed up a few more years. Getting ready to graduate from high school, my girlfriend at the time, her name was Martha. She looked better than her name. She says, her mom says, why don't you go across the street and see Mr. Tom Fetters? He works for Gibson Guitar. Maybe you can get a job over there. You already play guitar. You've been playing for quite a while. And believe me, by this time I'm 18 years old, so I've found a slew of Gibson guitars by this time, and I've found some that are worth $500,000 for crying out loud. And so I thought the best thing for me to do instead of go to college and do anything worthwhile in my life is go work in a factory and put 4 years of wood shop to work. Anyway, I went over there and spread all the lore that I knew about Gibson guitars to Mr. Tom Fetters, and it seems that I knew more than him. So he says, go see Lila Angel. These are all Gibson guitar Kalamazoo people. Lila Angel was one of the funniest ladies I ever met. She still had a beehive hairdo and cat-eye glasses when I went there in '74 to apply for this job. And she says, well, who do you know here? I says, well, I know Mr. Fetters, and I know Rem Wall, and I know, if you guys go look in any of the books, there's a great book by Gil Hembry, The Golden Years of Gibson Guitar. It talks about all these people I'm going to tell you about. Rem Wall, Randall Wall. I said, I know all these guys. And I finally mentioned this one guy's name, and he had been doing some understudy work there. I said, I know Bill Lawrence, and she kind of takes those cat-eye glasses, looks over the top, and she goes, don't mention his name again, please. So I said, well, I really don't know him that well. So anyhow, she says, here's your deal. You get this real cool deal, and you're gonna start on the 2nd shift, so that means you get a night shift premium. That means you make a little bit more money than the guys who are doing the same job on the day shift, which I thought was pretty special. But when I finally got into the job, it was the worst job that you could have in the plant. It was binding, and the reason I brought my guitar tonight is so I could show you what binding is. It's the white stripe. Hey, I hope I didn't wreck anything here. It's the white plastic around the top of the guitar, and it's the gluiest, nastiest, crappiest job you can have in the world. But I never missed a day, and I loved that job. It was the happiest day of my life. And I just, every day I'd come to work and I'd roam that plant looking for this, looking for that, talking to this guy, talking to that guy, and trying to find out all about the guitars that, I wanted to have, the Flying V and the Explorer and all the Les Paul models that you could possibly put in my front of my face. And never did find them, they're scattered all over the world, of course. But knowing these people and being able to work with them has just made me the happiest guy on earth up until they said, this is your last day on the job. We all lost our jobs. They moved the plant to Nashville. I'm not going to get into all that crap, but I just wanted to let you know that it was the happiest time of my life. but I've always been a professional guitar player, and that's what makes me happy. I get to play with my friends. I got to play with Pat Travers last night over in New Smyrna. I don't get to do that all the time. I'm just a second-level guitar player around here. I've played on this stage a couple of times in some videos, but I've always had a good time playing the guitar. And so I brought this in for everybody to look at. And I think you should give Les Paul and this Les Paul a huge round of applause. And thank you very much.